All right, welcome back, Truth Seeker. We got MLB baseball this morning, this afternoon, evening. If you're on the East Coast, we will do our first Decode of the golf tournament. We'll do it like last week, Tuesday and Wednesday. And got almost 4 hours until the first game here today. Let's review what happened yesterday. Yesterday, if you were watching live, there's a little prediction that the score might be 4-1 after the first inning with the Yankees beating Baltimore. And funny enough, that did happen. Baltimore equals 41. Baltimore also equals 58. And look at the final score of the game, 5-8. Yankees did sweep Baltimore yesterday. We talked about them very likely sweeping this series. And the reason why, the Orioles picked up their 36th and 37th away loss yesterday. They lose two more. There's two more games in the series. They'll get to 39 and stay at 39 wins on the season. New York 39, Orioles 39. So that's what I'm expecting in that one. Yankees were huge favorites yesterday. We talked about how Boston could stay on 32 wins yesterday. That happened. They did stay on 32. Boston's 32. It was a 32-date numerology. And I think there might have been more to that one as well. So again, Yankees took both games. What was the run scored? 19-13. 19-13. Baltimore 41 13th prime, 32 total runs. Let's see here. The Nationals looked good to beat the Reds yesterday. Nationals picked up their 32nd win on the 32-date numerology, kept the Reds at 23 away wins on the 23-date. We talked about the Reds falling to 56 and 61. Washington, D.C. equals 56 and 61. Washington, D.C. also sums to 137, the 33rd prime. Reds got the 33rd away loss. Of course, Nationals is 33 as well. And I don't think the pitcher got the decision. Oh, he did. I take it back. So that was the other big piece, is that Dace Clefini could become 7-7 because that number plays a lot in Washington, D.C., the city located on the 77th meridian known as the American Meridian. And United States is 77, America's 32. So looked like a big America, Washington, D.C. ritual yesterday. And it was. The Blue Jays looked good to upset the Rangers yesterday. Or maybe it wasn't upset. Actually, I think the Blue Jays were a slight favorite, but they looked good to beat the Rangers yesterday. Blue Jays picked up their 23rd home win on the 23-date numerology. Blue Jays equals 23. Rangers became 59 and 59. Toronto Blue Jays equals 59. And I know there was another piece to this as well. The Diamondbacks yesterday beat the Rockies. Their riddle to win was to give the Rockies their 32nd loss in the NL West, and that is what happened. And it's too bad that that was on the board because the Diamondbacks, they could have stayed on 32 wins. They could have picked up their 32nd away loss and got their 32nd loss in the NL West. Denver equals 32 as well, but instead it was the Rockies who got the 32nd loss. And I pointed out if the Rockies won yesterday, it would have made the D-backs 5-9 versus the Rockies in 2019 on the 59-date numerology. So I did think the riddle was better for the Rockies, and it was. But you've heard me say it a million times before, it only takes one riddle to upset it, and just the fact that the Diamondbacks give the Rockies the 32nd loss in the NL West, that's what it was. So I always hate when that happens, but it does happen. The Angels yesterday had a shot at their 59th win on the 59-date numerology. I'm not crazy about that 50-something path, but Los Angeles Angels does equal 59. Pittsburgh's 59, so I was thinking they'd probably pick that up there. That didn't happen. And the Rays and Padres game, did we end up seeing something with the pitchers? This one was tight because the numerology could have gone either way. Diego Castillo, who was he pitching for? Lucchesi became 7-7. So this Diego Castillo, we were talking. He only pitched at the beginning of the game. We were talking about how he had a chance to become 7-8 because he'll face the Tigers next. And problem is, I didn't write with a win or a loss, so I need to look at what his stats are right now. How were we looking at that? Okay. Hold on. Diego Castillo. Here we go. So he was 6-8. So we were talking about how if he won, he would be 7-8 because he faces the Tigers next, and Tigers is 78. But anyway, the date numerology could have gone either way in that game, which made things a little bit tight there. The Rays are the better team. They got the win, so can't say that's shocking. But I think we were sort of leaning that way for that game because of Castillo. We see so many pitchers going to the next matchup with the perfect record. So all in all, it wasn't a bad day. We had the right read on the majority of games. The Rockies and the Angels were the disappointment yesterday. And I just hate when a riddle stacks a lot. I mean, I know it happens. I talk about it all the time, but really would have made more sense if the Rockies won. Oh well. Okay, so on to today. Date numerology. The date numerology, it's been better as of late. It's still not great, but it's been better. It's been somewhat trustworthy. We've been looking for the games where we can get the date numerology and the pitcher riddles to align. And here, let me close a window or two here. Sounds like my computer's dying. Okay. What's up, chat? Good day, everyone. But okay, so for today's date numerology, 60, 33, 24, our primary methods, lesser date numerology 40, the day plus the month 21. Something that's interesting about today is it's the 147th day of the MLB season, big World Series number. So keep your eyes peeled today. Games that have date numerology connections. The 24 path. The Reds today could pick up their 24th away win. Hold on, we got a call. Caller?
Morning, Zach.
Good morning.
All right, how's it going? Quick question. Since, from your experience, would you say that, like records being broken during the season, can those be like indicators that can help us for like the World Series or the NFL?
Are you talking about player individual records?
Yeah. So either way, like if it's if they break a team record or a player record, like can that be an indicator?
Well, what I've noticed just historically is a lot of times, like if a player gets a big season accomplishment, it's not usually his team that wins the championship as well. Like Drew Brees, for example, last year, I think he set 3 records last year over the course of the season. And then he came up just shy of making it to the Super Bowl. So usually when I see a player getting a lot of records, it makes me think, maybe this isn't their year for the championship. So.
Oh, okay. So, because the reason I'm asking, I noticed that the Yankees, they broke a record on August 5th.
A team record? Team record?
Yeah, team record. Yeah, team record.
Okay, team record's a little bit different. Yeah, well, okay, tell me about the record. What was it?
Okay, so it's most home runs at a visiting ballpark.
Okay.
In a single season. So on August 5th, they broke it against the Baltimore Orioles.
So Baltimore's 58. So what a day to do it. Baltimore 58, 5/8.
Exactly. And so the record they broke was a record that was set in 1936
so
it was the Milwaukee Braves at the Cincinnati Crosley Field.
1936. So that's 83 years ago. 23rd prime. Okay.
And the reason I'm asking is because August 5th, correct, the World Series starts October 22nd.
Right.
So that would be 79 days. And when you write out champion, we all know what that equals.
Well, it's a span of 79 days. It's also 78 days later in New York, 78. And, yeah.
Oh, wow. Yep.
Yeah,
okay.
I hear you on the 79 too. 79, span of 79, champion 79, so that also makes sense. Notice it's if you don't count the span, it's 78 days, or it's 11 weeks in one day, and New York is 78 and 111.
Yeah, so that's why I'm bringing it up, because it was a significant record, I felt. And also, the day that they broke it, that was the 13th game they had won in a row at Camden. The reason I'm bringing up 13 is because we know LA equals 13.
Right.
The person who hit the home run, his name is Mike Tauschman. M is the 13th letter.
Baltimore also. Baltimore 41 the 13th prime for another little Baltimore tribute.
Exactly. Yeah, it's all over the place. So I was just paying attention to it, and I was wondering if that might be telling us anything, because I see a lot of LA in there. I see a lot of like some Atlanta Braves numbers as well.
Home run is 95 like Baltimore also. I just want to see if there's anything to home run in Baltimore. Home run 95, Baltimore 95.
And Dodgers is also 36, and the last time. This record was from 1936. The pitcher that they broke the record against, his name is Paul Fry. Paul Fry equals 36 and 99. Let me see what else. They won the game 9-6. Aaron Judge equals 96. Free Mason equals 96.
Orioles equals 96.
Orioles as well, yes. So there's also a second piece to it. I don't know if you want me to go on, or if you just want to go on.
No, go on. It's interesting. I prefer looking at riddles and futures more than I do daily games. That's where the value is anyway. So yeah, great observations. I'm listening.
Okay, so fast forward a little bit more, and we have another record that was recently broken on August 12th. It was, again, the Yankees versus the Orioles. And not record, he actually tied the record. The player's name was Gleyber Torres. He tied a single-season record for the most home runs against one team in a single season. He has 13 against Baltimore. That was on August 12th. 72 days to the World Series. When you write out Dodgers, it equals 72. As well, the Yankees only have 2 more games versus the Orioles this year. The record that...
Did you say the player was Torres? It was Torres?
Yeah, Gleyber Torres. Yep.
Yeah, okay.
So Baltimore equals 95, Torres equals 95 as well. The record that he's trying to break right now, Lou Gehrig has it, and it's 14. So he's 1 home run away from breaking the record.
And what's the Lou Gehrig record?
Lou Gehrig is 14. It's home runs against one team in a single season. He had 14 against the Indians in 1936.
And so wait, okay, so Torres set a record too for most home runs against a team. But how's that a record if he hasn't beaten Lou Gehrig?
It's a record against Baltimore.
Oh, okay, got it. So Baltimore, but then the total for all teams is just 14 against a single team in a year.
Yes, yeah. The MLB record is 14, but he has the record for the Yankees against Baltimore.
And how many does Torres have again against Baltimore?
13
so
now.
He would need 1 more. Okay.
Yeah, he'd need 1 more. So also what I noticed is Torres, when you write it out, equals 95 like Baltimore and 32.
And home run.
Has a connection to Los Angeles. We know that.
32 does? 32?
Yeah, Magic Johnson is the owner of the LA Dodgers. When you write out Johnson, equals 95 and 32.
Okay. I was like, wait a minute, what's the connection? Okay, I got you, Magic Johnson.
Yeah, just the owner connection. Also, 99, you have the Aaron Hicks, Aaron Judge, Aaron Boone, all the 99 connection. The 99 connects to 13 as well. When you write out 13, I believe it equals 99.
Right.
So that's pretty much it. But the reason I'm bringing it up is, one, there's probably a pretty good chance that he's either going to tie the record or break the record. That's how I feel. And 2, there's the World Series numbers tied into these games specifically.
Right. Yeah. Let me look at my World Series numbers again. I always think of 57 and 147. But what else is there? 69 and 150. Okay. Yeah, so yeah, the Yankees just keep getting these rituals that sync up with the start of the World Series. Again, I'm going to be shocked if they're not in the World Series. And at this point, just based on, I keep coming to that blackout thing, just how perfectly synced that was. So, yeah, Yankees and Dodgers is very likely. I'm still keeping a little hope out for a Yankees-Phillies World Series because I think there's a chance at that, but that Dodgers one's looking a lot stronger these days. So.
Yeah, the reason I'm kind of like keep bringing this up to you, I don't mean to be a pain in the butt, but the daily things are they're kind of tough to win consistently. So I'm more focused on the future things. The payouts are better. You can spread your money out a little bit more and still come out on top. You know,
Sure.
so that's the way I like to attack it.
Sure. Well, I agree, and I think on a daily thing you should try to pick out the strongest game. Like yesterday, there were some strong games that we really liked. They both came through. There was 2 games we really liked. They were 2 for 2. So just on a daily basis, just be selective. Try to find the good ones. So.
Yep, that's exactly what I'm doing, man. I'm trying.
All right.
You saved me yesterday. I stayed away from that Yankee game thanks to you. I was trying to dip my hand in a little bit of that free Baltimore money, but then I listened to what you were saying and staying on that 39. Yeah,
that sweeps. Those numbers look too good for the sweep. So.
Thanks for that one.
Yeah, welcome. Did you take advantage of the Nationals game or the Blue Jays?
I did, but I bet the first 5, so I didn't really pay attention to the whole game. I had just taken the first 5 innings.
Why do you do it that way?
Because I was only going to be able to watch half of the game, so
you want to bet on what you can watch? Huh? You're different than me. If I bet on something, I don't want to watch it. So, all right.
Yeah, no, it wasn't too much money, but that's the only reason why. I played it right yesterday.
Okay, got it. All right, man. Good call. Appreciate it.
Have a good one.
All right, take care. See you. Okay. Yeah, it's always good not to get greedy because that's the thing. When you see these huge lines, it's like, well, that could be a monster payout, but I mean, usually those ones aren't coming through. So, okie dokie. So today's games. I just wanted to start with the date numerology. I'm just trying to really focus on the date numerology so we can really identify when we can lock in here. But okay, so am I on today's games? Yep. So the Reds. What's interesting about this Reds game is they could get their 24th away win, but today's a 33 date as well. If they did win, their record would be 24-33, like the date numerology. But the Nationals can also get their 33rd home win, and we know Nationals equals 33. Their pitcher Joe Ross also has a chance to improve to 3-3, or fall to 2-4 like the date. So. Again, that's one of these games where you're kind of playing with fire, just because the date you can get an argument either way. We're gonna look at that more with the pitcher though and see if we can lock into something better. The Cubs today are going for their 24th away win. If the Phillies lost, they'd stay on 60 wins. We have the 60 date numerology as well. The Phillies' next home loss is 27. Cubs equals 27. So. You got to assume that one's coming. Doesn't have to be today, but the date numerology is there to support the Cubs, so we'll look more at that. The Rangers and the Blue Jays. Rangers could stay on 24 away wins. Blue Jays could pick up their 24th. And if the Blue Jays just lost one game in this series, they would get to 37 home losses. Rangers is 37. The 60 date numerology could go either way for the Rangers. So if the date numerology was on, what would make the most sense is the Blue Jays picking up the W here. The Indians could stay on... I wrote this wrong. Home losses. The Red Sox can get their 33rd away win today. Again, Cleveland's 33. The other thing, though, is that 60 path, which I'm less interested in. The Red Sox could get that 60th loss today, too. Caller?
Yes, Zach, I like the Cubs today. Because tomorrow they're on ESPN. ESPN equals 54, like I said.
All right, your signal's really quiet. For people who can't hear you, you called in. You said you like the Cubs. The game's tomorrow on ESPN. ESPN's 54, so they go in tomorrow still on 54 losses. And that would be in tune with the date numerology if they won today.
Yep. Cool.
All right, appreciate it. All right, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to look at that more, but the date numerology is there for the Cubbies. And notice the Cubs' next win 65. Philadelphia's 65. Again, the city established on the date, leaving 65 days left in the year. Let's see. The Marlins could stay on 24 home wins today. Los Angeles Dodgers 89, the 24th prime. We'll look at that more, though, because Yamamoto would have a chance to get to 5-3. That would be the upset narrative. Los Angeles is 53. So we'll take a peek at that. Could be an upset there. And let's see. There's one game where we get the date numerology on both sides today. And that is this this Royals game. If the Royals won today, they'd get their 24th home win on the 24 day, and the Cardinals would get their 33rd away loss on the 33 day. And just while we're on it, let's look at the interleague play records. Cardinals are 7-11 in interleague play, and the Royals are 5-5. Well, that's not going to help us. But the date numerology would line up on both sides for a Kansas City upset. And the other thing that jumps out about this game is if Glenn Sparkman won, he would be 4-7. St. Louis is 47. We'll look at who he faces next. But this could be a nice game here today. This is a nice payout. It's in that range where it's realistic for the upset. So we'll look at that some more. Colorado could stay on 24 wins versus the NL West if they lost to the Diamondbacks today. We'll look more at that. We got the Battle of the Bay Area here today. With regards to the 33 date numerology, so those were our 24 path games. Coming back to the 33 date numerology, again, the Nationals are going for their 33rd home win. Their starting pitcher could become 3-3. Nationals is 33. Again, the Red Sox are going for the 33rd away win in Cleveland. Perfect city to get it, Cleveland 33. The Braves today, they could get their 33rd home win. New York's 33, ATL's 33. They play on the 33rd parallel. I'm digging that. We're going to look more at it, though. All these games we're going to go through, and we're going to look at the pitchers, too. Let me see. The Diamondbacks could stay on 33 away wins. Pitcher could also become 3-3. The Giants, if they lost today, they'd pick up their 33rd home loss on the 33 date. And tomorrow, if they lost today, they'd have a chance to lose tomorrow and pick up 34. Athletics is 34. So is Giants. I meant to write Giants, too. So if the Athletics won today, they'd be sitting pretty tomorrow, I think. But the Giants do have a chance to get to 60-60 today. That's the other consideration because it is a 60 date. To me, that passed the least important, but it has been 2 days ago. It was really there. So, again, date numerology has been funny this year with baseball. And the Padres, they could get their 33rd home loss today. What I forgot to mention about that is Tampa Bay is 137, which is the 33rd prime number. So, be a fitting day to get that 33rd loss versus the Rays. And then the 60 games, the Phillies, again, it's not looking good for the Phillies today. If they lose, they'd stay at 60 wins on the 60-date numerology. And think about tomorrow. Tomorrow will be a 61 date, Philadelphia 61. So maybe that's the fitting day to pick up 61 for Philadelphia. And the Rangers could get the 60th win or loss. Red Sox, they do have that shot at that 33rd win, which to me is a better date numerology method. Plus Cleveland's 33. They could get the 60th loss, but Cleveland doesn't equal 60, so I'm leaning more towards that 33. And Okay. Caller?
Hey, so yesterday I brought up the Hebrew date numerology as well, because yesterday was the 59 in the Gregorian calendar for the main date numerology, and it was also 159 is the main one on the Hebrew calendar.
Right.
Today it's also 60 and 160, respectively.
Right.
And I just want to point out one thing in regards to yesterday's game. If you look at how the Red Sox-Indians game ended, well, for one, it had, like, every single time someone was, like, 1 for 2 at the plate, they always got that second hit to go to 2 for 3. And it was the 23-day yesterday. It was a super 23-day because it was the 23-day numerology. But the way it ended was very interesting as well. Santana, he was the first batter in the bottom of the ninth. He was 2 for 3 at the time. He went to 3 for 4 and got the walk-off home run. Walk-off equals 34 reverse flow reduction.
Nice.
It also had 51-day numerology on the Hebrew calendar, which today for that same version is 52. And walk-off win equals 51 reverse flow reduction.
Nice.
So it was a nice sync for that. The two games that I mentioned.
That was
earlier.
the 34th team at bat too, and Indians is 34. So.
Yeah, so it was like perfectly synced up the way they ended it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But so then for today, there are a few things that I had noticed. Well, for one, I mean, the Mets and 57 stuff comes up so often. And if you look at the Braves' record right now, it's 70 and 50, and their home record is 32 and 25, which is another 5-7 reduction. And with a win, the Braves could get to 33 and 25, which is set up for tomorrow, the 25-date numerology. And that's also 67 in reduction. Braves equals 67 English ordinal. But the only thing, too, is that the Braves could stay on 52 night wins and get to 40th night loss and 52 in the Hebrew calendar with 52.
Are you seeing any consistency with the day and night stats? I'm not.
No, not really. But the number one thing, I feel like I'm beating a dead horse by bringing it up, but the Hebrew date numerology is absolutely essential. Because it's always playing when the Gregorian and Hebrew calendar have the main date numerology synced up.
Right.
And I love using that example for that Red Sox-Yankee series when it was 169, 170, and 171, and the rule of Coel fit with the Red Sox getting the 3 wins that time because Boston Red Sox and Jose Alexander Cora both equaled 170 in the short.
Right.
But so, for this Giants game as well, the Giants seem like a potential win tonight. They can go to 60 and 60 overall. And of course, today's the 60 with the super 60 day. They would also improve to 7 and 7 against the AL. There's a possibility they could sweep actually, because then they can go to 9 and 7 against the AL. Of course, the Athletics equals 97 English ordinal, and then Oakland Athletics equals 97 reverse reduction.
Yeah, we know how big that 97 is with Oakland. So.
Yeah, I mean, ever since I doubted that. Was thinking Quintana would not get the 9-7. I mean, I'll never go against it at this point.
Well, don't jinx yourself. That seems to be it seems like sometimes we speak these things into happening against us, but
yeah. So the other thing though to look at is the Athletics manager 76 days from his next birthday. San Francisco equals 76 reverse flow reduction, and San Francisco Giants equals 75 flow reduction. So it's possible that if we're using this rule of Coel, especially that today and tomorrow seem like really good days for the Giants to win.
I wouldn't use that rule of Coel, but wait a minute. All right, the Giants are 6 and 7 versus the AL right now, isn't that right?
Yeah, you have the mouse right next to it.
Yeah, they're 6 and 7. So wait, how are you figuring the 9 and 7 thing?
If they won 3 in a row.
But they only have 2 games.
Oh, they only have 2 games. Oh, so never mind. That's off the board then.
Yeah, they only got. That's what I want to check because most of these, I've noticed that they've divided up most of the AL NL series this year into blocks of 2 games. But hold on, let's see what they've done for the year. Maybe they have 2 more games later this year against them. I'm not sure if they played each other yet. Because if they, well, but God, they'd probably play another AL team before they played the Athletics.
Well, either way, regardless of the sweep narrative, the thing that kind of stood out was Brett Anderson today. On the Super 60 day, he can pick up his 60th career loss.
And you're calling it the Super 60 day because it's 160 on the Hebrew calendar?
Yeah.
Okay.
And if you look at the Giants' record production, it's the 5-6 reduction right now, and Oakland Athletics is 56 total reduction. And what I've noticed too, when teams are coming in and they have this alignment for that first game where they're showing the cipher match with the opponent, they tend to win that first game.
Check this out. The Giants' next game against the AL after this 2-game series will be the Athletics again. So it is possible that the 9-7 thing could still happen. It couldn't happen in this series, but if they did win both, they'd get to 8-7, and then they'd have the chance to do it in Oakland on August 24th. They could become 9-7 versus the AL because they play the A's, then they play the Diamondbacks, then they play the Cubs, and then they're back to the Athletics again.
That's interesting. And then they probably lose that fourth game. But it's up in the air though. But today I'm more so winning with the Giants. Yesterday with that Nationals game, I was sort of thinking that whoever won yesterday was going to lose today. There is that 33 on the board for the Nationals, which is sort of a scare. Yeah, but what I had been seeing yesterday, which kind of stood out to me, so in the past they brought up how when teams are 22 and 33 or 33-22, however it formats out with the records, they tend to stay on the 33 and pick up the 23. And that came up with the this day in history thing with the Mets that was a few weeks back, and as well yesterday, of course, with the 23-33 eventuality for the Reds. So it seems to be more consistent because, of course, they love certain numbers. Like, they love 74, 47, and, of course, they love 33 because it's a very Masonic sport, and 33 is one of the most important numbers to them.
Sure. Yeah, I agree. So, all right, yeah, good observations.
Yeah, I'm looking at that, too. I have, like, a whole bunch of other notes, but I want to listen in first.
Okay, all right, appreciate it, thanks. Okay, so, well, that is really interesting that the Giants would have a chance to get to 9-7 versus the AL if they beat the Athletics 3 times in a row. So we're going to look more at that game in a moment. All right. We're going to do a lot of decoding live today. This live stream might take a little bit longer because I didn't get my homework done this morning. But I hope you guys don't mind that. Gives you more time to talk in the chat and do your own research too while we go along. I just want to see what Greinke's record is here. Forget it, man. It doesn't even pay anything. This Dylan Cease doesn't have enough history. Yeah, I'm just whatever. I know if the Astros win 2 more games in this series, they'll be at 79 wins, and Chicago White Sox is 79. 2 more losses for the White Sox at home would be 32. Houston's 32. Yeah, forget that game. And same thing with the Yankees and Orioles game. If German wins, he's 16-2. Major League Baseball's 162. Baseball's 162 in reverse. That's probably happening. Little baseball tribute. And again, I just like the Yankees to sweep this series to give the Orioles that 39th away loss. Okay, Reds and Nationals. Let's look at this one because this game is interesting. It's too bad the date numerology is on both sides. I'm just wondering if the 33 really plays, though, for the Nationals because, again, Nationals is 33. Washington, D.C. is 137, the 33rd prime. Let me make sure these notes are up here. So, let's look at Alex. I'm pretty sure Alex Wood doesn't have a lot of stats here. But we'll look at Joe Ross, too. Alex Wood, 53-40. And let's see. That's right. He just made his debut for Cincinnati recently. All right, let's see his splits versus the Nationals. Caller?
Hey, Zach, thanks for yesterday, Zach. Thank you very much, man, about the Toronto Blue Jays. I won $100.
Well, congratulations. Glad to hear that.
And, Zach, on the phone, I got a question for you, man. You remember when New York played with Baltimore not too long ago at Baltimore?
Right.
And the New York won 15 games. What's that 15 game? Was 15 games straight against Baltimore? The record that they won that day.
I would have to it might be 15. I'd have to count it real quick. I'm not sure off the top of my head.
Yeah, the reason I asked you because I heard now saying New York won 15 games. I don't know what it was for. I misunderstand the the announcer. They said that they can win the 15 for the Rocket 15. I don't know what it was though. I mean, you check it up and get your chance though.
I'm gonna look it up right now. How many they've won straight?
At Baltimore, at the Rocket, he was at Rocket. I don't know what day exactly it was. I forgot what day exactly. But I know is that they said it was 15. If they went 15 for a Rocket, I don't know what the Rocket was though.
Okay, so it's 15 straight wins at Baltimore is what you heard. All right, let me count it right now. I'm counting in my head.
Okay.
Yep, they've won it 15 straight. That's exactly right. So.
Okay. What I thought, man, that's a good record right there, though. 15 straight like that.
Oh yeah, it is. And a lot of times, sports streaks will end at 14, so they went past the number that it typically goes to. What makes me think of is Maryland equals 47, which is the 15th prime number. But I'd have to think where they're going with this one. Maybe they could win something like 18 straight because baseball's 18. So you're gonna have to.
I got a question for you real quick before I go. You know, the one of the numbers 31, right? 31 is at 11 prime, correct?
Correct.
11 prime.
Correct.
Okay, well, I just asked that because I'm learning a little by little, man. Matter of fact, a couple days ago, I just got back with y'all because my thing didn't work, but I'm back with y'all now, though.
Okay, glad you're back and glad you're winning. Congratulations.
Okay, thank you for you keep up the good work, sir. You're doing very, very well, man. Thank you very much, sir.
Well, you're welcome. You take care. Thanks for the call.
You too, bye.
You know what? Had I noticed that yesterday, I would have been worried the Yankees were going to lose because you know about me in 14. But, yeah, I wonder where that streak's going to go to. There's not a lot of streaks that go past 14. It does happen, but that's not typical. So, 15 straight. Maryland 47, 15th prime. Baseball's 18. 9. All right, somebody's going to have to remind me later. I'm going to have to look at the Yankees' remaining schedule with Baltimore, see how many games they have left, see what could make sense. How many... Oh, wait. Those games were in Baltimore. Yesterday's games were in New York. So never mind. Yesterday's streak didn't relate to that because those were wins in Baltimore. So we're going to have to look at how many more games the Yankees play in Baltimore and see if we can figure out where that riddle's going. But that would not have applied to yesterday's games because they were in New York. Okay, so I was looking at Alex Wood, and I was trying to get his splits versus the Nationals. He's 5-3 versus the Nationals. If he lost, he'd be 5-4, that baseball number. If he won, he'd be 6-3. Major League and Major League Baseball both equal 63. That could go either way. So I don't see anything clear with that. Let's see what he is in the Nationals Park. At the Nationals Park, he's 2-2. 2-2. Caller?
Yeah, Zach, I just heard you correct yourself. It is 13. And they only have 2 left against Baltimore, just letting you know.
For the entire season or in Baltimore?
No, 2 games against them for the rest of the season.
So, today and tomorrow?
Today and tomorrow, last games of the season.
Okay, so they won 15 this year, or they finished by beating Baltimore 15 straight in Baltimore. I got to think about where they might be going with that.
No, it's 13 straight in Baltimore because the last 2 were in New York.
No. I counted up though the thing. It was 15 straight. I just counted it on the screen.
Oh, okay. All
they
right.
really did win 15 straight there. Yeah. If you go to here, I just had it on the screen. Here, I'll just do it one more time. Here.
Oh, no. You are right. Because it was 13 prior to yesterday. I didn't count yesterday. You're correct.
No. Yesterday's games were in New York though. But check this out. Here, I'll just put it up here so everyone can see again. I just counted in my head last time, but look, here's the games at Baltimore. So they won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there's 7. Then they won 3 more, 8, 9, 10. Then coming up here to the Ats, 11, 12, 13, 14. And then right here, 15. And the last one they lost in Baltimore was July 10th, 2018. So since July 11th, 2018, they started that streak, 15 straight in Baltimore.
Okay, well, I know for a fact that they only have 2 more games left against them for the season.
So they can't extend that winning streak this year then, so it doesn't matter. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, good to know.
Okay.
All right, thanks. Here, while we're on it, let's just let's make sure that there isn't some big upset on the board with the Baltimore that we don't want to miss out on. I'm just going to count up real quick their record for 2019 against Baltimore. God, that's a lot of wins. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. They have 15 wins on the season and 2 losses. 15-2. 15-2. Well, that's funny that German can become 16-2 today, and the Yankees can become 16-2, like 162. Because remember, baseball in reverse is 162, like the games in the season, and Major League Baseball with the alphabetic order is 162. Oh, spell it right. So 16-2. What about Baltimore Orioles? Is there anything with that? Baltimore Orioles, New York Yankees. Yeah, I'm not sure about becoming 16-3 or 17-2, but I do like the 39 tribute just in the head-to-head records that we've been talking about. I'm just going to stick with that thought. So probably not going to mess with that series because the Yankees won't pay anything, and Orioles getting upsets doesn't look too promising. I guess you could also say that if German lost, he'd be 15-3, and the Yankees would be 15-3 against the Orioles for the year. But 162 is the symbolic baseball number, so I suspect that's where it goes. Plus, again, the whole 39 thing. Okay, let me look at Joe Ross here. Has he got anything for us? 19-18. 19-18. Man, well, what I don't like about that, I gotta make a note about Joe Ross. If Joe Ross lost today, Joe Ross would be 19-19 for career with a loss, and Reds equals 19 in the most pure cipher. So, that does not look good for Joe Ross, but I probably still wouldn't mess with this game just because you got riddles on both sides. Again, I think the way baseball is, it's best to find that best game of the day, best 2 games of the day, and based on the fact that the date numerology could go either way, I don't think I could rate this game as the best game of the day. But I do got to admit, if you're the kind of guy that's got to put something down on every single game, Joe Ross becoming 19-19 for his career, where Reds is 19 and it's 2019. I mean, that does have a little rhyme and reason to it, so. Here, I'll do one more thing. Washington Nationals, Cincinnati Reds. Winning record at home. Pretty tight at home, 122-118. Nationals are 3-1 versus the Reds this year. It's not going to help. Okay. All right, let's keep going through our list here. So Cubs and Phillies. Again, the Phillies today, if they lost, the Cubs would get their 24th away win on the 24-date numerology. Phillies would stay on 60 wins on the 60-date. And I'm wondering if Philadelphia picks up their 61st win tomorrow, the 61-date, because Philadelphia is 61. Let's look at the pitchers. Quintana and Vargas. Quintana, 80-75 for his career. Those numbers don't go. The Cubs 30-21. Let's see what his record is against Philadelphia. Oh and 1. 0-1. Doesn't have a bad ERA. Not great. 3.77 through 5 starts. And he's pitching at Citizens Bank. Let's see. He's 0-1 there. 3 starts, 5.29 ERA. So he doesn't have a lot of success there. Let's see who he faces next. If he faced the Dodgers next, I'd really like him. One, two, three, four. Looks like Pirates next. Something with that. How many career wins does he have again? 80 and 75. Pittsburgh Pirates. All right, let's look at Vargas. Vargas is 98 and 96. With the Phillies, he's 0-1. He's still looking for his first win with the Phillies. Let me think. He's 7 and 6 for the season. 7 and 6. All right, we've got to see his splits first. The Cubs. Okay, and the date numerology was pretty good yesterday. I'm almost thinking about just going blind and following the date numerology. Cubs. He's 3-0 versus the Cubs. So he has a good history against the Cubs. Quintana has a mediocre history against the Phillies. And caller?
What's up, Zach? The Yanks have won 14 in a row straight on the Orioles. They won the first game of the year, then they lost 2, and now they won 14 straight.
Oh, shoot, I missed that when I looked at it. Okay, 14 straight. And they're 15 and 2 right now.
Yep.
Well, that is interesting. That is interesting that they've won 14 straight. But they went past that 14 streak in Baltimore, too, Coach. So could they do it again?
Yep, good question.
Yeah, that's a great observation, though. I overlooked that one. Appreciate that.
You got it, brother.
All right, thanks. Here, let me just put that up for everybody to see with their own eyeballs. That would be your Yankees upset narrative. Counting up all those numbers and didn't see that right in front of my face, huh? All right, hold on. So yeah, he's right on because we know they've won 15. So they won the first one, lost the next 2, 14 straight. Ooh. But the thing to consider is they surpassed that 14 this year, winning at Baltimore. So there could be some other riddle in play about that. I gotta make a note. I gotta jot it down though. Hold on here. Actually, let me just do it right now. Let me see what German's stats are against Baltimore. Or here, I'll just get rid of this. That would be a really nice payout if it could happen. So now there's a somewhat of an interesting narrative. 17 and 9 for his career. Baltimore. 3-0 versus Baltimore with 3.09 ERA. 3 starts. And at Yankee Stadium. He's not. It's funny he's 9-5 at Yankee Stadium. Well, that's actually funny. He's 9-5 at Yankee Stadium. So if he lost, he would be 9-6, and Orioles is 96. Man, you know, that would bust up that 39 thing I've been looking at. Let me jot this down. There's a chance there. There is a chance now that we realize 14 in a row, and the fact that German could become 9-6 at home. But looking at the team record, I just keep looking at that 39 ritual. So. Okay, let's keep looking at the games that seem a little bit more promising here. So Vargas has been good against the Cubbies, but the date numerology is on the Cubs side. So that's... Let's keep taking a look, see if we can find something even more comforting. So the Rangers would stay on 24 away wins. The Blue Jays would pick up their 24th home win if the date numerology was on point. And let's see here with Lance Lynn. Lance Lynn. 96-64. Lynn's next win is 97. Ontario's 97. They are playing in Ontario. Yeah, this here. Okay. And Pannone. This guy has a lot of history. 6-6. He doesn't have a lot of history to go off of here. Oh, what's his record at home? He's 5-2 at home. His numbers just don't go. Lance Lynn. Who's he play next? Twins. I gotta get up my cheat sheet here. Rangers. Toronto. Notice Lynn came in 14-7, pitching at the Rogers Center, 147. And Twins. He's on 96 wins, going for 97. It's like we won yesterday with the Blue Jays. They're the type of team I don't like to take 2 days in a row either. They do have the date numerology, though. And there is reason to believe they'll just lose one in the series. Let's see what's going on tomorrow. That Sean Reed Foley could fall to 2-3. Blue Jays is 23. The one narrative the Rangers have with the date numerology is the 60 could go either way. And again, I don't like that date numerology path, but they do have a shot at the 60th win. I'm going to keep moving here. The Red Sox and the Indians game. Red Sox have a shot at the 33rd away win. Cleveland's 33. What could go against the Red Sox is picking up the 60th loss on the 60 date. Again, I don't like that path as much. Plus, it doesn't connect to Cleveland. Indians could also stay on 24 home losses. And think about anything else that's here. All right, let's see. Chris Sale splits with the Indians. Chris Sale, 109, 73. Indians is 47. And splits. Indians. He's 5-8 versus the Indians. It's not an encouraging record. 4.8 ERA. What's his record at Progressive Field? 2-4 at Progressive Field. Well, if he won, he'd be 3-4. Indians is 34. Chris Sale is 2-4 at Progressive Field. Indians equals 34. Okay. The Red Sox could win today. It would set them up for tomorrow, too, because they could get that 34th away win. Tomorrow we'll have 34 date numerology. Indians is 34. That would make some sense. Chris Sale would be 7-11. Boston and Red Sox are 77. Those numbers kind of go together. Let's look at Clevenger. Clevenger, 35-19. Boston Red Sox is 71, the 20th prime. Clevenger could pick up 20th career loss. Boston Red Sox equals 71, 20th prime. Okay. Red Sox. Well, he's had 3 starts. He's only pitched 12 innings, so he hasn't done well, and he's given up 11 runs. So he has a pretty god-awful history against the Red Sox. What's his record at Progressive Field? 17-7. Ohio is 187 in Satanic Gematria. 17, the 7th prime. Ohio, the 17th state. Does pitch nice at home, though. So again, there is some concern here because of the 60, but man, Cleveland's 33, getting that 33rd away win on the 33 day in the most appropriate city in MLB. That's really hard for me to not take. So, and again, it would set up the opportunity for that 34th away win on the 34 date where Indians is 34. Chris Sale's record at Progressive Field would make sense with a win. I just thought about one more thing with Chris Sale. Chris Sale could improve to 7-11. Ohio's 117 in Jewish Gematria. We were just talking about that with Baker Mayfield. What's up?
What up, Zach? I was just scrolling through my phone. I also meant to tell you that people in the chat probably tell you too. Lonzo Ball got Jackie Robinson tattooed on him recently, a couple days ago.
And he's playing in New Orleans now, right?
Yeah, but, he played with the Dodgers,
Right, Los Angeles.
Yeah, and, I think they in the know, Zach. Like, him and his dad and shit. Like, they know what's going on, so.
Sure.
It'd be fitting, but you know, he got his whole face tattooed on him. He got Obama, Harriet Tubman, like all the African American trailblazers on his arm.
Lonzo Ball
Look it up
does?
too. Yep, everybody. He got Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Jackie Robinson, Harriet Tubman. It's like a whole bunch of them, all on his arms. But Jackie Robinson is intriguing because of the World Series with the Dodgers and stuff.
That is.
All you gotta do is put that logo. Yeah, you can pull it up.
Well, it just got me thinking about New Orleans, too, because they could be the team in the NFL this year. So,
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I will look at that story. Lonzo Ball tattoo. So that's a story this week?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy, man. Looks pretty cool. I ain't gonna lie. It's like high definition too. Like
Was it
all
from-
on his arm with a,
Is the story from yesterday? Is it from yesterday?
Yeah, you can just look it up if you want to. Now I don't want to get you off the subject, but you just go to Google, put in Lonzo Ball's tattoos, and it's gonna pop right up. It's
Oh,
amazing
it's
story.
today. It's today's news story.
Yeah,
Today has the 60 date numerology like the N-word.
yeah. And look, Zach, 59. Ooh, that's
Yesterday-
slavery, all that.
Yesterday was the 59 date. That's why I was wondering. It was yesterday. The name Jack Robinson's 59. His actual name. So.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'll look more at this.
Yep. All right, man.
All right. Appreciate it. They did a big riddle with Kevin Durant's Tupac tattoo once upon a time. Okay. But I am leaning Red Sox on this one. I mean, Clevenger with that 20th career loss against the Boston Red Sox makes some sense too. It's interesting that Boston's the favorite in this game. Isn't it weird how they keep making Boston the favorite? Normally it's by a big line when Chris Sale pitches, even though he hasn't had a good year. So, Clevenger's really struggled against the Red Sox too, for the historical perspective. All right, let's see. Caller?
Hey, Zach.
Uh-huh.
I just want to let you know, you're right. The Lonzo story came out today, but he posted it on his Instagram yesterday. So that 59 date is there.
There you go, Jack Robinson, 59. Okay, I'll look more at that.
Yeah, because I follow him, so he definitely posted it yesterday. I saw that. He's got Obama, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, Jackie Robinson, and I think Rosa Parks, or Harriet Tubman, sorry.
Okay, I'll look into that. Very interesting. Thank you.
All right.
All right, take care. Okay, so for the pitcher riddles here, what jumps out at me is that Matthew Boyd could become 7 and 8 today. And we know that's the number with the Tigers. And the Mariners just put it on the Tigers when they played in Seattle. I think the Mariners won all 4 games. I think they beat them 4-0. So if the Tigers ended up losing 2, they would get to 43 losses. Mariners is 43, their 43rd season. Caller?
I hate to be like the third caller in a row, but I wanted to bring up something because of the Jackie Robinson 42 connection. So yesterday there was a story about the daycare fire, and if you look at the
Wait, are you talking about in Pennsylvania?
Yeah.
That was 2 days ago, Sunday.
Oh, it's 2 days ago?
Uh-huh.
No, I just saw it yesterday, but if you look at what was going on with that, it was, I believe, 5 children died, but 4 of them were siblings.
Right.
And one of them, the last name was August Iniak, Polish surname. But the main thing that I wanted to bring up was these kids were black, and daycare equals 42 reverse full reduction. Fire equals 420 reverse English Sumerian. And if you look at mixed race baby, that was 58 full reduction. So if it was 2 days ago, that was the 58 date. Mixed race is also 322 reverse Frank Bankinus. And then you had the 81 full reduction for Erie, Pennsylvania, and 182 in Jewish Ordinal.
What stood out to me about that story is Erie's just outside of Pittsburgh, and Pittsburgh's 58 like the date numerology, and then Erie, Pennsylvania also equals 243 like Pittsburgh's Steelers, and we saw the death of the Steelers coach that day 243 days after his birthday, so I was just wondering if that was connected.
Yeah, but also with that Erie, because the rule of Colel with the 182 Jewish ordinal, and then the fact that it had the 81 full reduction, 181 is the 42nd prime. And if you do the way we do like the scorecard names in most sports, the name of the 9-month-old baby was J. Augustiniak. That is also 42 full reduction. So there's 42s all over that story.
And
of course,
nine when you write it out equals 42 as well. 9-month-old,
Yeah.
you said.
So yeah, it's definitely interesting that was connected. I just wanted to bring up that sync.
All right, appreciate it. Thanks.
Bye.
Okay, so let me make sure there's nothing with the ballpark here. Tigers 59 at Comerica Park. All right, let's see what Boyd's splits are versus the Mariners. I think he just lost in Seattle. But I do see he can become 7-8. All right. 1-0. Oh, never mind. He must not have lost. Unless he got no decision that game. 1-0 versus the Mariners in 3 starts. 2.79 ERA, not bad. So he's pitched well against them. And he's on 43 career losses. Mariners is 43. Let's see who he faces next. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. The Rays. They don't have a connection to those numbers. Let me make sure their ballpark doesn't. All right, and the Mariners. Who's Kikuchi face next? One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Blue Jays. Well, if he lost, he would face the Blue Jays next. Blue Jays is 49. So that's through the pitchers. I like the Tigers here just because I know that 78 plays with the Tigers, so their pitcher becoming 7-8 makes some sense. Mariners dropping 2 in Detroit would make some sense too because Detroit's 37. How many games is this series? 3-game series. So I'll make a note about that. Oh man. Okay. Well, I gotta make a counter note to that. If Tigers lost 2 or 3, they would get to 43 home losses, and Mariners is 43. It's their 43rd season as well. But that 43, where it's had a chance to play, it actually hasn't played nearly as much as I would have thought it would in the Mariners' 43rd season. So I still do like the Boyd 7-8 thing. Plus, he's pitched well against the Mariners. Kikuchi hasn't really pitched well against anybody. All right, Jordan. This could be an upset right here. I want to look at this Marlins game because Yamamoto could get to 5-3 and Los Angeles is 53. So let's look a little bit more carefully. I think that's all the history he has, though. Pretty sure he just lost to the Dodgers recently. I think he got his first career loss against the Dodgers and became 4-1 against them, if I remember correctly, because LA's 41. So he could get his second LA tribute in his record if he won today. All right, let's see here. What kind of streak are the Dodgers on anyway? Seems like they haven't lost. I guess just 2-game winning streak. Okay, not that long. Oh, they lost to the Diamondbacks. That's right. We knew about that game. That was the Robbie Ray game. Okay. This Yamamoto. Yeah, he got rocked that game against the Dodgers. That was his first career loss. He did become 4-1 in that game. He was 4-0 going into that game. And I guess that's put him on a... let me double check that I'm right about that. Pretty sure that's what it is. See how many days ago that game was. Yeah, so he started off 4-0. Oh, wait, I take it back. He became 4-1 against the Braves. Braves is 41. Okay, so Braves is 41. Or wait a minute. One of these probably wasn't a decision. That's what it was. He actually became 3-1 against the Braves for his career because his team got the win, but he didn't pitch enough innings here, so he was 3-1 after the Braves game. Then he became 4-1 against San Diego, and then he became 4-2 against the Dodgers. Los Angeles Dodgers is 181, the 42nd prime. Okay, I didn't have that quite remembered right, but I knew there was some riddle with it. So he came in 4-1 versus LA, and then fell to 4-2. Okay. 4-3. Beat Minnesota. What about this Dustin May guy? Or wait, how many games ago was that LA game? July 21st. 23 days later, span of 24. Let's see. Alright, let's look at Dustin May. Yeah, he has almost no history to go off of. Pitched pretty well in limited action. Let's see who he faces next. One, two, three, four, five. Rockies. Rockies do have the 44 connection. And 53 if you use the rules, though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the Phillies. Yeah, it's tough. So Rockies is a team where the most pure cipher it's 35. If you use the rule for S, it's 44. If you use the rule for S and K, it's 53. So, and 35 is also the reflection of 53. He does have a chance to upset. This is a potential upset right here on the board. That Los Angeles in 53 plays a lot. So, Marlins, the date numerology thing is they could stay on 24 home wins, but staying on the number is never any guarantee, so. All right. The Braves are going for their 33rd win on the 33 date. And New York's 33, ATL's 33, the game's on the 33rd parallel. Mets have been playing well lately. Let's look at the splits here, but I'm digging that 33 riddle in this game. So Zach Wheeler. He's 6-4 versus the Braves. Now, it's Braves. 6-4 versus the Braves. Right. It's going to be his 13th start, the 6th prime. He's 1-2 at SunTrust Park. He could become 1-3. Braves 41, the 13th prime. Braves is also 22 though. Can't sleep on that. So that could go either way. That's a wash. Let's see Max Fried, see what he's got going on here. Wait, did I look at all of Wheeler's stats? Let me go back to Wheeler 1 second. 42. Oh, Wheeler can pick up his 37th career loss. Almost missed that. Atlanta Braves is 37. Remember the other day when the Braves got in a hole early against the Marlins, I said, this would probably be a good time to bet the Braves because good chance they come back and give the Marlins that 37th home loss, which they did. So I know that 37 plays with the Braves. All right, what about Max Fried now? That just made me feel better about the Braves. So the Braves are looking pretty good to me today. They got the date numerology and great opponent for Wheeler to get the 37th career loss. Max Fried is 15-9. Let's see his splits. He's 1-1 versus the Mets with a nice low ERA. So not a lot to go off of. Is Mets 21? I know Mets is... Oh yeah, Mets would be 21 if you use the rule for S. So he could become 2-1 versus the Mets. Okay, I'm going to add that too. But he could become 1-2, right? So never mind, that's a wash as well. I like the Braves. They got the date numerology and that 37th career loss. That makes some good sense. Nets have been playing really well, but the Braves are no slouches. So okay. The Astros and White Sox doubleheader, game 2. How many games is this series? Just a 3-game series. If it's a 3-game series, there's a good chance the Astros win all these games. 3-game series. If the Astros were to win all 3, they would get to 37. Chicago's 37. Chicago is 35 as well, but that 37 plays a lot more. And I guess the concern for a loss is White Sox is 42. If the White Sox lost 2, they'd have 32 home losses. Houston 32. Can look a little bit more to see if there's an upset chance here. Garrett Cole 88 and 52. That's not going to help. Whoa, what happened? He's 1-1 versus the White Sox with a 6 ERA, so he doesn't exactly have a great history against them. Who's he facing? I even know, but that's right. Nova's next wins 86, next loss 74. He's 3-1 versus the Astros. That's tricky because Houston's 32 and 41. But yeah, there's not enough reason to believe that the White Sox could pull off an upset. Chase Anderson, if he lost today, would be 5-3. Notice he comes in 5-2. Minnesota 52 with a loss would be 5-3. Milwaukee's 53. We just saw that Milwaukee 53 16th prime riddle hit him in the last game with Jordan Lyles. If the Twins can win 2 here, they'll get to 37 wins. Milwaukee's 37. It's a 2-game series. So if the Twins swept, they would get to 37 away wins. Let me add that here. So that could make some sense. What's the interleague play records? Milwaukee is 6. So Milwaukee's really struggled. Oh, isn't that the Minneapolis area code? 612? Isn't that their area code? It is. So if Milwaukee lost both, their interleague play record would be 6-12. That's the Minneapolis area code. If Brewers got swept, they would be 6-12 versus AL. 612 Minneapolis area code. Now, I that is jogging my memory. Earlier this year, when things were good, when we started the season, we were doing really well. I just remember there was this awesome riddle for the Twins to win, and I think it was to make an opponent maybe 6-12 for the season, and that team did not lose that game. But so that deja vu is flashing back into my mind, but still, the 37 away wins, that number plays in Milwaukee. 6-1-2, I've seen it play before in Minneapolis sports. And plus Chase Anderson can become 5-3. And Milwaukee's also 53, so let's look at the splits here a little bit more. Martin Perez. He's 51-54. Only thing about that is Wisconsin equals 55, but they don't call them the Wisconsin Brewers. And let's see if he's ever faced Milwaukee before. Maybe not. Guess he has. Ooh, he didn't have a good game against them. What's the name of Milwaukee Stadium? Miller Park, that's right. So he struggled at Miller Park. He's 0-2 there. If he won, he'd be 1-2, kind of like 12. Milwaukee's 37, the 12th prime. But he has not pitched well here. Or whoops, hold on. Bill Miller, hold on. I thought I went to Miller Park. My fault. Let's see. Has he pitched at Miller Park before? No, he has not pitched there, so I take that back. Let's see, Chase Anderson. (50-38). He's on 38 career losses. Well, he has an interesting record because Twins is 50 and Minnesota's 38. Isn't that right? Twins 50, Minnesota 38. All right, I'm still digging the Twins riddle here. Just make sure I'm not missing anything. I guess if Anderson won, he could become 6-2. Minneapolis is 62, but the game's not in Minneapolis. I'll write it here. Game's in Milwaukee, so I feel like that 53 is more appropriate. Here, we can also see who they play real quick. Twins. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The Rangers. The Rangers. It's not going to matter. Thank you. And let's see who the Brewers play next. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cardinals. Cardinals. That's not going to help us either. Did we look at what the Twins interleague play record is? 6-9. 6-9. If they won, they'd be 7-9, kind of like 79. The 22nd prime Twins is 22. But it's a little abstract. I do dig, though, that the Brewers, if they lose both, Twins could pick up the 37th away wins, and they could become 6-12 against the AL. Again, that is the Minneapolis area code. So, and it's kind of, even though they're in different leagues, it's kind of like a rivalry. I mean, Minneapolis, Milwaukee, not too far from each other. So Chase Anderson 5-3. All of that makes a bit of sense to me. Now, the Royals and the Cardinals is a real interesting game because the Royals are heavy underdogs at home. We've gotten some nice Royals upsets this year. This is the one game where the date numerology makes sense on both sides. Only game today that's this way. Cardinals can get the 33rd away loss. Royals can get the 24th home win. 24 date, 33 date. And if Sparkman won, he would be 4-7, and St. Louis is 47. So I think I think this is my favorite upset game of the day. Date numerology has been pretty good for about a week. There's been a real bad day in there, but it's been mostly good days. Yesterday was good, so I'm starting to trust it. Flaherty's 13-17. Okay. Well, the Cardinals pitcher could get his 14th win, and if you've been following recently, we've talked about KC and 14 a lot. K plus C is 14. I'm just going to make this note here. So that's one thing that could go against it. St. Louis is 43, the 14th prime. And while I'm on it, who's he going to face next as a pitcher? One, 2, 3, 4, 5. The Reds. Well, that's a problem right there. That's actually a problem for my upset narrative. Flaherty will face Reds next, and Cincinnati equals 66. So if he won, he'd be 6-6. Ugh. Let's see who Sparkman faces next. The other thing to consider with Flaherty is he could get a no decision and become 6-6 against the Cardinals. So, I mean, it still doesn't rule out our upset. The date numerology is still there. 4-7 for Sparkman still there. But we do see how many pitchers go into the next game with that record. So it makes it a little bit more curious. It's definitely not a home run pick, but it's a risk-reward pick. Let's see. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Too bad he doesn't face the Mets next. 1, 2, 3, 4. Could if they pitched him on short rest. Because we know Mets is 57. He'd have a chance to get to 5-7 if he won. But it looks like he'll face the Orioles next. Maryland's 47. It's in Maryland. Did I look at Sparkman's stats? He's 3-11. Or he could become 3-11. Okay, that's another concern that he could become 3-11 because C is 3 and K is 11. Okay. But man, the date numerology still is on both sides. What's the interleague play records here? Five and 5. Oh yeah, I looked at this earlier. It didn't help. 7-11. Yeah, doesn't help. Oh, you know what? Is Royals 63? I think Royals might be 63. No, it's 36. Cardinals is 63. I'm just seeing that if the Cardinals won both, they'd get to 63 wins. Well, looking at some of those things put a little bit of damper on my excitement for the upset. The narrative is still there. The date numerology is on both sides. If there's a couple games you really like today, you know, maybe you just do straight bets on those, and then you put together a little $5 parlay with those teams. And the Royals is a big multiplier. Try to turn $5 into $50 type of thing. John Gray in this game could become 10-9. Rockies is 109. I know that. There was something with the date numerology. If Colorado did not win today, they would stay on 24 wins versus the NL West. The problem for the Rockies is they could stay on 33 away wins and fall to 60 and 60. It is a 60 date numerology as well. Gallen could be 2-4 or 3-3. The date's 24 and 33. Gallen just got traded over from the Marlins. Seems like a pretty good pitcher. Is that his record, including the Marlins stats? I'm not sure he ever got a decision with the Marlins. Oh, yeah, it is. He's 2-3 for the year. All right, so he doesn't have a lot of history. I don't think he's faced the Rockies yet. Colorado Rockies is 89 now that I think about it. So 89 is the 24th prime. Colorado Rockies, though, I know that's 89, the 24th prime, so the 2-4 might make a bit more sense. But John Gray, the fact that he can become 10-9. Let's see if there's anything in his numbers. John Gray, 42-33. Arizona 42, Diamondbacks 42-33 date. Splits. He's 3-4 versus the Diamondbacks. Rockies is 35 and 44. Yeah, I can't rate that as a very good game either. Might be a little bit better for the Rockies just because of the 89-24 relationship. Typically, the date numerology path that's on the 20s is the better one. So 2-4, but they do like that number 33. Got to assume the Diamondbacks lose at least one in this series to get to 32 away losses because Denver's 32. See something here. Tomorrow they're on to a different series, huh? Or no, 2 more left. Caller?
Hey, so what were you on for this Angels-Pirates game?
I haven't done that one yet.
Oh, you haven't? Well, let me just tell you some notes that I had right here off the top. So the Angels, with the win, they'd stay on 62 losses. They could go to 12-7 against the NL, which is a reduction of 37. Los Angeles equals 37 full reduction. And with the rule Colel, with that 168 numerology today on the Hebrew calendar, Los Angeles equals 161 reverse ordinal, and tomorrow is the 161 date. So they could win 2 in a row. The Angels are showing 29-29 at home, like 2-2 reduction. Angels equals 22 full reduction. They could go to 3-2 reduction with the win. Angels equals 32 reverse full reduction. And with the win, they'd be 59-62, like 5-8 reduction. Angels equals 58 English ordinal. And with the loss for the Pirates, they would be 49-70, which is like 4-7 reduction. And Pirates equals 47 reverse full reduction. It would also set up the Pirates to be on 25 away wins going into the 25-day numerology tomorrow. And today also has 52-day numerology on the Hebrew calendar, which is a reflection of 25.
My concern is just looking at the picture. Canning, if he lost, he'd be 4-7. Pirates is 47. And Trevor Williams, you could make sense of him with a win or a loss. With the loss, he'd be 4-6. LA Angels is 46. With the win, though, he'd be 5-5. Los Angeles.
Yeah, I started to spend less time on the pitchers, though, because, like, for instance, yesterday we were talking about that Indians game, and there's a potential for Rodriguez to have the prime number connection, 13-6.
But the prime numbers and the pitchers haven't mattered this year.
Yeah, but it's also, if you were to ignore the pitchers in most cases, it tends to be fairly straightforward. However, I have to kind of add the disclaimer there, because that day, like I mentioned earlier today, with the Quintana 9-7 thing, there are times when it really is important to look at it.
I think the pitcher riddles are pretty important.
Yeah, like, for instance, with that Diamondbacks game. So Zach Gallen, well, for one, the Diamondbacks' night record right now is 40-39 with a loss. They're showing a 4-2 reduction, but Colorado goes 43 reverse full reduction. And Zach Gallen, the pitcher for the Diamondbacks, he could fall to 2-4. He has an ERA of 2.4. And John Gray for the Rockies, he's the 10-8 with the 4.06 ERA, but Arizona Diamondbacks equals 180 English ordinal and 81 full reduction.
Yeah, that's true.
So they tend to sync this stuff up quite well. But I just wanted to bring up the stuff for the Angels, because if you were to kind of ignore the pitchers just for a moment, it seems to be more is lined up for the Angels to win today.
Okay.
But I'll let you get back to it, because that was basically the main notes that I wanted to bring up for today.
All right. Appreciate
Thanks.
it. I personally don't want to ignore pitchers because I think they're pretty important. So it makes baseball tough, though. Just all the moving parts. All right, so this Athletics and Giants series. They have a 2-game series. They're going to play a couple more teams, and then they're going to come back and face each other again. And it was the Giants, if I'm not mistaken, that if they did win 3 in a row. Yep. So the Giants' next 3 games against the American League will be against the Athletics. They're going to play 2, have a break, and then the next one, American League series, is the Athletics again. They could get to 9-7. And remember, Athletics 97. Oakland Athletics 97. 97, the 25th prime. Giants 25. SF 25. So there is some rhyme and reason with that interleague record. And Giants next 3 games versus... It's actually the next 4 games, but I'm just focusing on the 3. I'll write 4. Next 4 games versus AL are against Oakland. If they won 3 straight, they would get to 9-7 versus AL. Athletics 97, Oakland Athletics 97, 97 25th prime, Giants 25, SF 25. That 97 plays hard for the Athletics, as we know, and the 25 is pretty good with the Giants too. So that is a strong riddle. But what I was looking at before that was just like how the date numerology went against the Giants today. If they lost today, they'd get the 33rd home loss on the 33 date. They could get the 34th on the 34 date. Caller?
Oh, you live streaming it?
Yeah, doing a live stream right now.
All right, I'll let you go.
All right, thanks.
Bye.
Okay. So yeah, there's been some. Just what kills me is there's been some really strong looking interleague play riddles we've seen this year that have not come through, and I mean there's been strong riddles in all things. So the date numerology seems good right now, so it's hard to go against it because if the Giants lost today, they'd get that 33rd home loss on the 33 date. They could get the 34th loss on the 34 date. If the Giant and if they lost the 34 if the Giants lost today and tomorrow, again they'd get the 34th home loss on the 34 date. Giants is 34, Athletics is 34. So that could make sense. If they lost 3 in a row, they'd be 7-9, the reflection of 9-7, which could also make sense. Caller?
Hey, one last thing. So if you look at the probable pitchers based upon the rotation, Bumgarner looks like he will actually play against the Athletics again. So if he won today, he'd be 8-7, and then if he wins against the Diamondbacks, or gets into a decision that day, you would enter with the 9-7 or 8-7 record to potentially win again and get to 9-7. However, I think he will be the pitcher on 8-25, which would be the 4th game.
Okay.
So it's just something to consider because we have been looking at the pitcher's next potential opponent and.
Oh, look at that! Bumgarner's next win's 118. That big San Francisco number, and it's a Bay Area series.
Yeah, but to potentially also have that 9-7 sync going into the next time they play too, and this isn't by accident with these people. But yeah, I just want to bring that up because it seemed to stand out quite a bit.
Yeah, so if he won 2 in a row to get to 9-7, okay, got it. All right. So Bumgarner should have 1 start between this game and the next game with Oakland. Again, just in case you weren't here earlier, I'll put up the Giants' schedule so you can see what's going on. So the Giants got this 2-game series with the A's. Then they have a 4-game series with the D-backs, 3-game series with the Cubs, and then they're back in Oakland. And so Bumgarner, let's just think about it. He's pitching tonight, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He'll likely pitch here against the Diamondbacks. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Likely pitch here against the A's. On the 25th of the month, too. So if he got 2 wins and a no decision in his next 3 starts, he could be 9-7 on that date against the old 97 team. Giants could get to 60-60 on the 60 date. Not making things easy. Let's look a little bit more. Let's see his Bumgarner's next win is 118. Big San Francisco number, as we've learned. So many things in San Francisco began on August 11th. And Barry Bonds was 118. Last year they retired his jersey number on August 11th. This year they did the tribute to the World Series Earthquake team on August 11th. What was he? 117-90? Yeah. Let me make sure there's not a 90 connection with the Athletics. Maybe there is. Is there? Nope. San... Okay. All right, I need his splits versus Oakland. I'm sure he's pitched against him a couple times. He's 4-2 versus the Athletics. That's a tricky number because Athletics is 43 as well. I am thinking, though, if he doesn't lose, it makes more sense. Yeah. All right, let's look at Brett Anderson a little bit more. Brett Anderson with a loss would be 10-8, that major league number. $50. Brett Anderson could get his 60th loss on the 60 date. So Giants can improve to 60-60, and Brett Anderson can get his 60th career loss. And look at that. He's 2-4 versus the Giants for his career. Could become 2-4. But that's actually tricky. The 25 is more pure, but 34 is there too. Okay. That riddle about the Giants winning 3 straight has some rhyme and reason to it. Bumgarner has been pitching really well lately. Even games where he hasn't gotten decisions, he's been pitching really well. And, winning record versus the A's, losing record versus the Giants. Date numerology is the only concern, the 33, but it could go in the Giants' favor again, too. So not a clean read, but I think I am leaning towards the hometown team in that one, the Giants. All right, so last caller liked the Angels today. I thought the Angels had a good riddle yesterday, and they blew it. Seems that so often when a team blows a good riddle, they do win the next day, but just looking at these numbers here, Canning could fall to 4-7 versus Pirates, and Pirates is 47, so that's jumping out at me. You can make sense of Trevor Williams' record either way. 4-6 or 5-5 could make sense in Los Angeles. Let's see the interleague play records here. Pirates are 11-4 in interleague. If they lost, they'd be 11-5 prime numbers. Pittsburgh Pirates is 114. Oh, look at that. The Angels with a loss would be 11-8. Los Angeles, California, 118 on the 118th meridian. I know that number plays with LA. So Angels could fall to 11-8 versus NL with a loss. Los Angeles, California equals 118 on the 118th meridian. Okay. Trevor Williams versus the Angels. Never faced them before. 26-25 for his career. That's not going to help us. Let's see who he faces next. One, two, three, four, five. So he'll face. Gonna face the Nationals next. That's not gonna help either. It could go either way. Canning. Canning is from. Is this his first season? Yeah, he doesn't have a lot to go off of. I don't think he's ever faced the Pirates before. MLB team head-to-head records. It's going to be the 17th game. They're 8-8 against each other. And they're 5-5 in Los Angeles too. Wow. Dead even. So they've definitely played each other tight. If the Angels only won one game in this series, they'd have 59 wins. That is the overlap number. Los Angeles Angels is 59. Pittsburgh's 59. They blew that 59th win yesterday on the 59 date. Who pitches tomorrow? Archer, 3-8. Peters. It is the 13th. That big LA number, LA 13. Speaking of which, let me scan real quick. I didn't miss any 41s today. 41's a number that I shouldn't be sleeping on the 13th. Astros could stay on 41. Yankees could stay on 41. 41, again, is the 13th prime number. It's the 13th of the month. Tigers could stay on 41 home losses. That would go with Boyd becoming 7-8. Dodgers could stay on 41. That Yamamoto's got a riddle, though. Not everyone's going to stay on it. Astros got the doubleheader. Yeah. I personally, I'm not thrilled about this Angels Pirates game. I worry about Canning falling to 4-7, and also the fact that Los Angeles can become 11-8 in interleague play. I mean, that's a big number there with Los Angeles. So, seen that one show up plenty this year. I think I would like the Pirates maybe more than I like the Angels in this game, because again, if Trevor Williams wins, he's 5-5. Los Angeles is 55. Canning becoming 4-7. Pirates is 47. So, make the note here about Williams. And actually, LA Angels, if you use the rule with S, is 56 as well, isn't it? Or no, it's not. Take it back. Okay. Rays and Padres. Padres could get the 33rd home loss on the 33 date. Tampa Bay's 137, the 33rd prime. Lauer, he seems to only be good when he's facing the Dodgers. Let's see here. Eric Lauer's 12-15. Never faced them before. Whoops, could have attacked right. Never faced Tampa Bay before. What's his record at Petco? He's 5-7 at Petco. Whoops, hitting all the wrong buttons. San Diego. You can check the head-to-head for these teams too. th game. San Diego 6-13. Could stay at 13 on the 41st. 0-4 at home. If they won, they'd be 1-4. That's interesting. They've never won at home versus Tampa Bay. San Diego is 0-4 at home versus Tampa Bay. 43, the 14th prime. 1-4 is kind of like 14. Tampa Bay Rays is 43. San Diego's 43. So that would be their narrative. Getting that first ever win. It's just the date numerology is pretty good right now. So getting 33rd home loss on the 33 date. Tampa Bay 137, the 33rd prime. To me, just to go back over the games, we didn't see really any clear narrative for a White Sox upset today. Neither of their pitchers really had anything that was screaming out. There's a possibility that the Astros lose one in this series. It's also a good chance they sweep, so I'm leaning towards the Astros winning at least 2 out of 3. If I was going to make a bet on this series, it'd be the Astros to win the series. That's probably not much of a payout, but anyway. Orioles and Yankees. Again, if the Yankees sweep the Orioles will stay on 39 wins and get their 39th away loss. New York's 39. The prayer for an Orioles upset today, and it would be a nice payout, is the Yankees have won 14 straight versus the Orioles. And we know about 14 and streaks ending, but as we talked about earlier, the Yankees surpassed a 14-win streak already against the Orioles this year by winning 15 straight in Baltimore. That was a record that went back to last season. So they've already passed 14 once this year. All I could think of was Maryland was 47, the 15th prime. But the Yankees upset narrative would be to lose because they've won 14 straight for the season. So I'm still having trouble. I normally love streaks of 14, but just because that 39 riddle could hit right there, and that's such a big number in New York, plus Orioles is 39, having trouble going against that. Let me come down to my picture. What did I write here for this? Whoops, wrong day. Yeah, this Reds-Nationals game is actually dangerous because the Reds can get the 24th away win on the 24 date, or the Nationals can get the 33rd home win on the 33 date. Again, Washington, D.C. is 137. The 33rd prime. Nationals is 33. Joe Ross, he could be 2-4 or 3-3, but if Joe Ross lost, he would be 19-19 for his career, and Reds is 19. So it's a little bit dicey. If the Reds won today, they'd have their record would be like the date numerology, 24 and 33. They'd probably pick up that 34th loss tomorrow on the 34 date. So the Joe Ross 19-19. That's the game's still dangerous because you got the numerology on both sides. The Cubs and Phillies. If the Cubs win, they get their 24th win on the 24 date. They keep the Phillies at 60 wins on the 60 date. Tomorrow they could get their 61st win on the 61 date. Philadelphia's 61, so that has some rhyme and reason to it. Caller pointed out that tomorrow's game's on ESPN, so if the Cubs won today, they'd go into the ESPN game still with 54 losses. ESPN's 54 like The Blue Jays do have a shot at the 24th home win on the 24 date and keeping the Rangers at 24. The 60 date numerology could go either way for the Rangers. We saw that Lance Lynn has a chance at his 97th career win. Ontario does equal 97. Does seem that the Ontario numbers do play in Toronto. It's Toronto, Ontario. So the date numerology is there for the Blue Jays. I just worry a little bit about Lance Lynn. He is the Rangers' best pitcher. And it seems like the Rangers should actually be more of a favorite. So it might be baiting people to bet Texas. So Blue Jays definitely have a shot at the upset here. They got the date numerology. And again, the date numerology has been pretty good for almost a week now. Hasn't been great, but it's been coming through more than not. Yesterday was good, so our most immediate indicator was good as well. Chris Sale, he's 2-4 at Progressive Field. If he won, he'd be 3-4. Indians is 34. If he won, he'd be 7-11. Ohio's 117 in Jewish Gematria. The Red Sox can also get their 33rd away win on the 33 date numerology in Cleveland 33. The date numerology that could go in Cleveland's favor is the Red Sox picking up their 60th loss on the 60 date and staying at 24 home wins on the 24 date. But I'm liking the 33 because Cleveland's 33. And if the Red Sox won today, it would give them a shot tomorrow. Indians is 34. So I could see that happening. So I'm leaning Red Sox there. Tigers, I like Matthew Boyd getting to 7-8. Tigers is 78. Kikuchi, if he lost, he'd become 4-9. He faces the Blue Jays next. Blue Jays is 49. So no decision for him or a loss would make sense. We see so many pitchers going to the next opponent with the right record. Yamamoto, he has a chance to upset LA today. If he won, he'd be 5-3. Los Angeles is 53. He plays the Rockies next. You can make sense of his record with a win or a loss based on the next opponent, but becoming 5-3 versus Los Angeles has some rhyme and reason to it. We see that number play a whole lot with LA. So I think they got a shot. Now, as I say that, it seems like, I just mentioned this the other day too, the Marlins are this team that just for some reason, however the schedule works out, it seems like so often they have a shot at being upset. And the Dodgers are also a team that are constantly facing riddles to lose, but they still win anyway. That's why they have the league's best record. So do keep that in mind. And that's why if I bet the Marlins, I would pair them as, one of those like $5 type of bets, trying to turn it into $50 on a parlay with some games that I do like. So, this game, I like this game right here. I don't want to jinx it, but the Braves can get the 33rd home win on the 33 date. New York's 33, ATL's 33. The game's on the 33rd parallel. Wheeler can get his 37th career loss. Atlanta Braves 37. So that's got some rhyme and reason to it. And this Twins-Brewers game, if the Twins win today and tomorrow, they will get to 37 away wins. Milwaukee's 37. And the Brewers, if they lost both, they would become 6-12 in interleague play. Minneapolis is the 612 area code. If Chase Anderson loses today, he's 5-3. Milwaukee's 53, where the game's at. Minneapolis is 62. The opponent's from Minneapolis, but the game's in Milwaukee. So if Twins only won one in the series, if they split, they'd get to 36 wins. Brewers is 36, but I don't know. There's definitely a narrative there for the Twins to win both. The Cardinals and Royals is another game that you could play as a big multiplier and a small parlay. Royals, if they win, they'll get the 24th home win on the 24 date and give the Cardinals their 33rd away loss on the 33 date. And if the Royals did win 2 in a row, they would get to 25 home wins. St. Louis is 25. So it's not out of the question. The concern is, well, also if Glenn Sparkman won today, he would be 4-7. St. Louis is 47. So there's 3 things that look good there for the Royals. The concern is Flaherty. He's going for his 14th career win. KC's 14. We just saw them dish out that number heavy in the Toronto series recently. Every game was about 14. And Flaherty's next matchup is against Cincinnati. If he won today, he'd be 6-6 going into that Cincinnati match. So for Flaherty, I see either a no decision or a win. And that's why if I'm betting Royals, who do have a good shot to upset and who would be a great payout today, I'm doing them as a parlay multiplier with some other games I like. Diamondbacks and Rockies, definitely an iffy game. If the Diamondbacks lose, they're 60-60 on the 60-date numerology. They'd stay at 33 away wins on the 33 date. They'd get their 32nd away loss in Denver. Denver 32. Gallen could be 2-4 or 3-3. You got the date numerology that goes either way. But remember, Colorado Rockies is 89, the 24th prime. If John Gray couldn't fall to 10-9, I would like I'd feel better about the Rockies. But just the fact that he can become 10-9 is concerning because Rockies is 109. So I do think the Rockies look a little bit better, but John Gray with that chance to become to 10-9 makes it iffy. Battle of the Bay Area, 2-game series, break, and then right back to the same teams with the 2-game series. So the interleague play for these teams, the next 4 games will be against each other. If the Giants win 3 in a row, they will be 9-7 versus the Athletics. Again, Oakland Athletics 97, Athletics 97. 97 is the 25th prime. Giants 25. SF is 25. The date numerology can go for or against the Giants today. They can become 60-60 on the 60 date with a win, or they can get their 33rd home loss. If Brett Anderson lost today for the Athletics, he would get his 60th career loss as well. Bumgarner has a winning record, 4-2 against the Athletics. Brett Anderson has a losing record, 2-4 versus the Giants. If Bumgarner did win today, he would get his 118th career win. And we know we've learned in the last year how significant that number is to San Francisco. Go back and see my video on Barry Bonds' jersey retirement on August 11th last year. Barry Bonds is 118. And if Bumgarner did win his next 2 decisions, it's possible. So he's going to face this team, then the Diamondbacks, and then he's going to face the Athletics again. So if he won today and the next one, or maybe he wins today and gets a no decision next game and wins the next one against the Athletics, he could be 9-7 for another 97 riddle. And that could be, I believe, the game where they would become 9-7 in interleague play as well. So I'm leaning Giants for that reason, but again, just the fact that they can get the 33rd home loss is concerning. And if they lost today, they'd be looking at potentially the 34th loss tomorrow. And Athletics is 34, so is Giants. So I do have a feeling that whoever wins today wins tomorrow as well. And if it did go that route, it could be a 7-9 thing for the Giants, the reflection of 97. We were just talking about the 97 riddle. But reflections do count. We see that a lot, so. And then the Pirates and Angels game. If the Angels lose today, they will be 11-8 in interleague play. 11-8. Los Angeles, California is 118. It's on the 118th meridian. Canning could fall to 4-7. Pirates is 47. Trevor Williams for the Pirates. His record makes sense with a win or a loss. These teams are dead even, playing each other in Los Angeles. And the Rays and the Padres. Again, that 33 date numerology, if the Padres lose, they would pick up their 33rd home loss on the 33 date. Tampa Bay equals 137, the 33rd prime. The riddle for the Padres to win would be their all-time record versus Tampa Bay. They're 0-4 versus Tampa Bay. If they won today, they'd be 1-4. Tampa Bay Rays is 43, the 14th prime. San Diego's 43, the 14th prime. Doesn't have to go that way, though. Because Tampa Bay equals 47, San Diego equals 47 as well. That's the 15th prime. So imagine they lost today. They'd be 0-5. Maybe tomorrow they win and they become 1-5. So just the fact that the date numerology was on point yesterday, 33. Oh, you know what else I'm forgetting? I'm forgetting something else about the whole 33 thing. Tampa Bay is 137, the 33rd prime, but so is San Diego Padres. I forgot that they signed Manny Machado 137 days from his birthday as well. So both teams have 137 connection, actually, the 33rd prime. And so, again, I'd be selective about your games. There's some games where several things are stacking and there's not a lot going against it. Some of these tighter riddles, again, if a date numerology can go both ways, I'll pick the date numerology that would connect to the city the game's in. Red Sox going for the 33rd away win in Cleveland, 33 land, that type of thing. And again, the nice thing about this knowledge is you can put together small bets, small bet parlay cards. Maybe you spend $20 in your bet. You make 5 different parlay cards. Or what I just say, 4 different parlay cards with $5 bets, and you mix them up. So, if one of them hits, it pays in the neighborhood of $50. You just need 1 out of your 4 parlay cards to come through to have a positive day. Buy a bag of groceries each day. And I know that's how a lot of you do bet, and I think that's a wise way to bet because, you're not going to lose a lot, and with this knowledge, you're going to stay ahead of the curve. So, and for the last couple weeks now, I've been doing a little bit shallower decodes. Haven't been mixing in all the variables, but we've been doing just fine this way. So, if there's some games you're tight on, you can go do that extra homework. Again, you can go do the MLB, head-to-head records. For example, maybe you're thinking about the Mariners and Tigers. Detroit's at home, so, just go here. Just search MLB team head-to-head records. You're going to get this website through Baseball Reference. Detroit Tigers, the record versus the Mariners, 417th game. They lead 217 to 198. That means their next loss against the M's is 199, the 46th prime. Anyway, we don't have a 46th date. They're 124 and 84 at home, so you can just look and just see if anything goes with, the date. That's what we typically do. But you can always do the extra analysis. And then if you click on the all-time, you can go to the head-to-head record. So, yeah, the Tigers got swept by the Mariners earlier this year. They're 0-4. So if they beat them, they'd be 1-4. Remember, Mariners is 43, the 14th prime. Callers?
Hey, so take a look at the preview for the Athletics and Giants game, and then I'll let you just kind of play it out yourself. But
where's the preview at?
Well, so on Baseball Reference, on this day thing.
Oh, on this day in history. Okay.
Yeah, so if you pull it up, you're going to be, okay, I'm sold on which side it's leaning as soon as you see it.
Oh, okay. Well, I already know what you're pretty much saying, but man, this day in history, it started off hot, but it hasn't been so hot lately.
Yeah, well, the way it's set up is the Athletics are 50-59 on this day, so they can get the 60th loss, which would also set up a 5-6 reduction. And the Giants are 64 and 60, so they could stay on the 60th loss and get the 65th win, which would be another 6-5 connected with 5-6.
Oakland Athletics is 56 and 65.
Yeah, so it's and if you also look at the
but hey, I do got to say though, we haven't seen a connection though. When this day in history was going, it was going with the team Gematria, so the 65 would fit in, but we haven't seen the connection with the date numerology for this day in history.
Yeah, but when it's like the Hebrew calendar and the Gregorian are both synced up with the same date numerology, this stuff is like it's very hard to go against it because it's a very strong numerical connection.
Okay, I'm gonna watch that. So yeah, I am leaning Giants. So
also the Giants to win, they'd be I think 29 and 32 at home, and that's another 2-5 reduction fit in with the 25 we're talking about. And like I mentioned before, today also has the secondary date numerology. a 52 on the Hebrew calendar, and that ties in with Bumgarner going to 5-2, and then Anderson going to 2-5.
Okay.
So
I'll plug in.
It seems like that's definitely the strongest game for me today.
Okay, I'll do this day in history for the games, and we'll wrap it up. All right, appreciate it.
All right, thanks.
See you.
Bye.
All right, let's do this day in history. We're still observing it. It's disappointed me because it started off so good, and I was thinking we finally found the hack that just leads us to the gold mine, and then it just got so not consistent. So, anyway, I see the White Sox. White Sox could stay on 51 wins. They're facing the Houston Astros for a doubleheader. Houston Astros is 51. What else do we got here this day in history? Reds and Nationals. On this date, 72-49. The Reds could get their 50th loss. Washington's 50. 23-24, that doesn't matter. Reds could get 50th loss. Washington equals 49 and 50. They're on 49 right now. Washington's both. Okay. And Cubs and Phillies on this date, 67-59. So Cubs could get the 60th loss on the 60-date numerology, but I have not seen any pattern with the date numerology. I'll just jot it down though, just because we're still observing. Cubs could. I like the Cubs to win today, so the thing I worry about is people come through later who don't watch the video and they look at the notes and they're like, "Oh, I don't want to bet that." Because I don't want to put out too much information that's going to confuse people. I'll just remember it for tomorrow. Okay, I'm not going to write it down. I haven't seen any pattern there with that. Orioles and Yankees. Again, the narrative for the Yankees' potential upsets that they've won 14 straight. Orioles 57-45. If they were in Baltimore, they'd have a shot at their 58th win. I have seen some teams picking up, like home teams picking up the win number that corresponds with their home city. Like the other day, Minnesota got their 52nd win on this day in history playing in Minnesota 52. Rangers, Blue Jays. I don't see it. Dodgers and Marlins. Dodgers can get their 68th win. Miami Marlins is 68. So I'm going to write that down. All right. What in the world? Oh my God. What the hell is that? I just felt this like sharp pain on my neck, and I smashed it. It's a bug. I can't tell what kind of bug it is. It bit me. Okay. Jesus, what was that thing? All right. Dodgers got the Dodgers can get the 68th win. Man, I don't know what that thing was, but this bite hurts. Okay. Whew. All right, the Mariners and the Tigers, those numbers don't matter. Caller? Hello?
Hello, can you hear me, sir?
I hear you.
Are you live?
I'm on my live stream. Yeah, what's going on?
Oh, I just wanted to say, the caller from last week's radio show about the community thing, I tried calling you, but I wanted to talk to you off stream.
Okay. Okay, you can call me back.
I try to call you, but...
All right, you can call me back.
Okay.
All right, take care. Okay. Oh, man. All right, I didn't see anything with the Mariners and Tigers game. Red Sox and Indians. 51 and 51. Indians are 60 and 57. Don't see anything there. Mets and Braves. Mets have a shot at the 22nd win. Braves is 22. I'll just document it. The Braves look pretty good today. And again, this day in history hasn't been real concerning. Or hasn't been real good. Wow, whatever bit me, I think my... I gotta take a look at this thing in the mirror. It feels like it's swelling up. Mets can get 22nd win. Braves equals 22. Okay. All right. The Twins and the Brewers. So the Twins can get their 53rd win today. Milwaukee's 53. And they were looking good. So I'd say that's one more thing in the Twins corner, even though that hasn't been real consistent. And... Cardinals and Royals, 57-51. That doesn't go. D-backs, Rockies. Okay, so far I've seen every single one of these come through. So far with the Diamondbacks, I've seen every single one of these come through so far. There's been, and it's not like it's a long list. It's either 2 or 3. So this will be the 3rd or 4th time, but so far this has been perfect. So I'm going to watch this today. D-backs can fall to 7 and 11 on this date in history. And I know one was forwards and one was backwards. But Arizona Diamondbacks equals 117. So that's interesting. So 117 is like 11-7 in reverse. All right. Athletics, Giants. One of those games was when they upset the Yankees game one of that interleague play series. Oakland Athletics, Giants. So that's what he was saying with the 60s. Again, I haven't seen... if they didn't win, they'd stay on 50. San Francisco's 50. I'll write that down. A's can stay on 50 wins. And Giants can get Oakland Athletics is 65. Okay. And Pirates and Angels 63-63. Angels 25-26. Rays Padres. Padres could stay on 18 wins. Rays is 18. Okay, so this day in history, again, not putting a lot of weight on it, just continuing to observe it. I did like that it was agreeable with what we were thinking with the Twins and Brewers game. Did seem like the Rockies had a little bit better narrative too. I just worried about John Gray. So, again, just one more time. Don't see any reason, any strong narratives for the White Sox to upset the Astros. I think worst case scenario, the Astros lose one game in this series. Doesn't have to come today. That's because White Sox is 42. And if the Astros did win 2 out of 3, it's a 3-game series. They'd be 79 and 42. Chicago White Sox is 79. White Sox is 42. So taking the Astros to win the series, not going to be a great payment, but it'll pay more than bank interest. And again, if the White Sox drop 2, they get to 32 losses. Houston's 32. The Yankees, I really do think they're going to sweep this series. If you want to take a flyer on the Orioles winning today, today'd be the game that they would win. Just because the Yankees have won 14 straight. We know how many streaks end at 14. So maybe if you're doing one of those parlay cards and you're just mixing up your multipliers, Orioles obviously would be a very awesome multiplier today. But that 39 and 39 thing, it looks destined. Yankees have won 14 straight, so that's what's going against them. Nationals and Reds, you got the date numerology on both sides. I'm just doing the review one more time, and then I'm going to wrap it up. I'll be back later with golf. We saw this day in history. Never mind. I'm not even going to say it. But Joe Ross, if he did lose today, he would be 19 and 19 for his career, and Reds is 19. So that stands out. I think the Cubs are going to get the Phillies today. Cubs pick up the 24th win, keep the Phillies on 60 on the 60 date. Blue Jays, they could be worth an upset shot. They can get that 24th home win on the 24 date, keep the Rangers at 24. Rangers got their ace on the mound, so the Rangers' narrative to win is to get the 60th win on the 60 date, but they could also get that 60th loss. Red Sox, they got date numerology going for and against them, the 60 and the 33. To me, the 33 path is more important. Cleveland's 33, so it'd be a great date to get the 33rd away win in the right location. Clevenger, we saw, could get his 20th career loss. Boston Red Sox, 71, the 20th prime. Tigers, I think the Tigers, Matthew Boyd will get to 7 and 8. Tigers is 78. We saw that Kikuchi with a loss, he'd be 4 and 9. He faces the Blue Jays next. Blue Jays 49. Yamamoto has a riddle to win or lose, but if he does win, he's 5 and 3. Los Angeles is 53. I might take the Marlins as a parlay multiplier today. Again, the Dodgers are the team that win all the time, even when they have narratives going against them. Like I said, they got the best record in baseball for a reason. So, but Marlins still got a shot. There's been a lot of 5 and 3 with the LA teams, Dodgers and Angels. Braves can get the 33rd home win on the 33 date. New York's 33, ATL's 33. Zach Wheeler, his next career loss is 37. Atlanta Braves is 37. If the Twins beat the Brewers twice, they'll get to 37 away wins. Milwaukee's 37, and the Brewers will become 6 and 12 versus the AL. 612 is the Minneapolis area code. Chase Anderson can also fall to 5 and 3 at home. Milwaukee's 53. We also saw that this day in history supports the Twins. Not putting a lot of weight on that, but it is there. Royals have a shot at an upset because they have the date numerology on their side, and they have the date numerology going against the Cardinals. It's the only game today where the date numerology is on both sides. In any other sports game, I would take the Royals outright, but baseball is the sport where the date numerology is the least consistent. And Sparkman can also become 4 and 7 today. St. Louis is 47, but Flaherty can get his 14th career win. Casey's 14. Andy can improve to 6 and 6. He faces Cincinnati next. Cincinnati's 66. So a Cardinals win is definitely not out of the question. I'd take the Royals as a parlay multiplier too if you're mixing up your cards. D-backs and Rockies, you got riddles going both ways. If the D-backs do lose, they're 60 and 60 on the 60 date. They stay at 33 away wins on the 33 date. And Zach Gallen, if he lost, he'd be 2 and 4. Colorado Rockies is 89, the 24th prime. I do worry about John Gray being 10 and 9 though, because Rockies is 109. So it looks a little bit better for the Rockies, but a little dangerous. The Giants have the date numerology going for and against them, the 33 and the 60 thing. We talked about how if the Giants win their next 3 games against the A's, they'll have an interleague play record of 9 and 7. Again, they have a 2-game series, play 2 National League teams, and then back to the A's. So they do have a chance to get to 9 and 7 against Oakland, the team that dishes out 97 all the time. Bumgarner, 2 of his next 3 starts will be against Oakland as well, so I could see him with a 9 and 7 record. Again, Oakland's 90. The Athletics have the 97 connection. 97 is the 25th prime. The Giants have the 25 connection. Battle of the Bay Area today. Bumgarner can also get his 118th career win. Big number there in San Francisco, so symbolic. And Pirates and Angels, you can make an argument. Trevor Williams with a win or loss. Canning, his record makes sense with a loss. Pirates is 47. And if the Angels do lose, they're 11-8 in interleague play. Los Angeles, California is 118, and it's on the 118th meridian. And for the Padres, they get that 33rd home loss on the 33 date. Both teams equal 137. San Diego Padres is 137. Tampa Bay is 137. That's the 33rd prime. So I think you know what I'm saying. And let's wrap it up there. I will be back about 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 Eastern. Possible I might need a little bit of extra time, but I'm going to aim for 4, 7 Eastern. Worst case scenario would be 5, 8. And it's fine even if I'm late because the golf tournament's not till Thursday. So I just want to get out as much information, as much quality information as early as possible. So that'll be later today. And again, golf's been good. It's stayed good. So we'll wrap it up there, and I'll see you later.